Hey guys, welcome to Inside the Studio. I'm here with my good buddy, my brother from another mother, Diego Cantú.
Hey guys.
Going to talk to him about his history and advertising and film and entertainment and things like that. So let's get started. Diego, welcome to the show, man.
Thanks, bro. Thanks for
So
having me.
apparently we were supposed to, we haven't done this yet. So
Yeah,
we're supposed to drink a little tequila on this episode.
you better approve my idea of like the drunk podcast, like drunk history, but with friends. It's
Yeah,
gonna be a fun one.
that's good tequila. I don't know who left it in our kitchen, but thank you.
That was
Whoever.
from the party last Wednesday?
The bourbon party? Yeah, I don't know who brought tequila to the bourbon party. I think you did, but this is a different one. I don't know
Yeah,
who
I
brought.
brought good tequila and I took it home.
Yeah.
Because the liquor in my office tends to disappear.
Yeah, the liquor in this building tends to disappear.
I know. I know.
That happens. So thanks for joining, man.
Thank you.
We're gonna have you shoot a variety of podcasts here too as a host. So I
That's
thought it'd be
right.
great if people get to know you.
Yeah.
You and I go back a long time.
Yeah, don't
Not a
say
long time, but 15 years or so.
that. A little bit. Yeah.
Um, give people your. Let's start with your background, man. Give them your from the beginning.
Went to film school, grew up from Mexico City, grew up in California. I went to film school. My dad was in the ad business. He didn't believe in film. I was struggling after film school to land a gig. I could have gotten a job at an agency, William Morris, like pushing a mail cart. But, you know, LA's expensive. So my dad just said, fuck it, I'll get you a gig. So I started in advertising as a producer. So my background was film, and I started at a small agency in LA. But then the creative director actually asked for help like writing shit. I was like, I don't want to be a copywriter. He's like, no, dude, like help me with this. So like we ended up writing this campaign for Porsche, and it ended up winning like some local shit. And all of a sudden, I found myself in the writers section of advertising. And then, my career started off there. Worked here in San Antonio for an agency called back then it had a crazy ass long. It was Sosa Bromley Aguilar Noble and Associates. I was with them for like 3 years. Back then, I didn't like San Antonio very much, especially coming from like
Newport
college in
Beach.
San
Oh, San
Francisco,
Francisco.
like
Yeah.
Newport Beach, LA, you know. So, but started winning awards, started doing like cool shit with the agency here, won more awards, and then I got the call to go to the big leagues. So I moved to Chicago, Leo Burnett, spent there for a long time. I fucking loved it. And my career in advertising just kept moving and moving and moving. So it finally hit. I hit kind of like a ceiling. Like either I opened my own agency, or I was just gonna stay as a EVP. You know, back then I was the Latin America creative director for General Motors, and I didn't want to. I was done. Advertising was changing. The internet came. Like a lot of people in the ad business, like no spatial awareness. They kept writing like radio spots and TV commercials, and like a lot of my friends and me were like, dude, the internet's gonna fucking change this completely.
Yeah.
Then the efficiency of the fucking computers we use, and these cameras and the setups, clients started realizing that agencies were charging a bunch of money for TV spots, and then agencies started building their own in-house departments. It just got weird. So I quit, and I had an opportunity to go to a movie studio. So I went to Lionsgate, and I was the head of marketing for Lionsgate for Latin America for a while. And while I was doing that, I met Alex Garcia, which you've met, a good friend of mine, and part of my advisory board. And Alex at that point had the biggest studio in Latin America, AG Studios, and
What year was this, Diego?
this was 2000 when I went to AG Studios in Mexico City. That must have been what, 2013, you were dating that crazy girl in Mexico. What's her name?
She wasn't crazy.
She was, but she was awesome. I liked her. I thought she was fucking badass. What was that? 2013?
14 was when I first went. Yeah.
Yeah, so I probably got to AG Studios 2013 to run their TV division because Alex had sold a show to HBO, and HBO actually wanted to run the show like the Americans do, with like a writer's room, and like shooting TV series is very different than shooting movies. So he was like, "Hey man, you worked at writers' rooms. Well, you know how I met Greg Rumberg and everyone. We all started like, we were all friends in LA when we were younger, and then all that shit. So I started running AG Studios for Alex, the TV division, and it was great. It was fun. But my kids were in LA. I was in Mexico. I had to go back and forth all the time. It was just getting crazy. So I decided to leave Alex, and he said, man, like, whatever you need. Like, he's part of what I'm doing right now. And I opened up a production company, funnily enough, called No Smoke, with Lou Odessa, which you met too. And then from there, COVID hit. And that's when I called you and I was like, hey, man, I'm thinking about doing this. And you were great support. And that's how Mighty Industries started. We started calling it Mighty Industries. Now it's called Mighty Ventures because, now we're getting investors and stuff. So it's more like a venture stuff. And it's a film fund that is going to produce about, 6-7 movies a year.
So back up though, how did you, when you started Mighty Industries, tell me, like, what do they do? What does Mighty Industries do? What is the...
I really didn't have like a good solid idea of what it was going to be. I knew I wanted to get into, like, I knew that Hollywood was changing, especially after COVID. I was partners with Greg Rumberg in LA at Bandwagon Media, and we had a show in development at HBO, The Insiders. And for the first time, that's where I kind of like understood, like, shit, man, this is going to change, because we were shut down, and the studio didn't give a shit. They were like, look, man, you're approved. You got to deliver. I don't care how you shoot this. So that's when we started like thinking of alternative ways of funding and shooting stuff. And that's why we decided to do kind of like sort of everybody was on Zoom.
Is this The Insiders?
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
And that's what kind of like gave me the idea about like, okay, this works. Hollywood is not going to stop. Hollywood is not going to care if there's, lack of creativity or lack of funds or lack of film incentives. So, we started brainstorming. You gave me some ideas. So we decided to start Mighty Industries as kind of like a hopscotch studio of like doing content, but also doing film, trying to get funded for film. That's when my script, the Song for My Father, started like getting a lot of momentum at the Blacklist and at the whatchamacallit. Well, those websites that Slated, the Blacklist, and all that kind of stuff. But funnily enough, when I started Mighty Industries, I got a call from Sue De Lopez, which she was the head of marketing for Visit San Antonio, and she told me, it's like, hey man, we just sent an RFP. We're looking for an ad agency. And I told her, it's like, well, I don't have an ad agency, and I don't believe in advertising. And we've had this fucking conversation. Like, I don't know why people are still doing it. I find it hilarious. She was like, well, what the fuck are you doing? And I was like, well, we're kind of like, I was honest. I was like, I don't know, man. I think Web3 is going to change things. I believe in technology. I believe in that point where technology and creativity are going to hit. And that's what, to me, Web3 is from a marketing perspective. I still believe in marketing. I just don't believe in advertising. So, she was like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I was like, well, it's Web3, it's metaverses, it's these platforms that work as content hubs. Yeah. What you guys need is content. Like, I don't want to do billboards and 30-second jingles
Yeah,
for
30
Visit
second
San
spots.
Antonio.
Yeah.
I want to do content for you guys. She's like, what are you talking about? Like 12 TV series shows, short films, and you know, they loved it, and it was a great run. And then
So Mighty Industries, you guys started working. I obviously know some insider info here.
yeah,
You guys started working with VSA.
VSA. I had to
You
partner
guys-
up with.
You guys hired Exalter to do some of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, go ahead. You're going to talk about
So,
Aldo.
so we were working together, right? But like, no matter how whatever we needed to do, the content we were driving out still needed like traditional advertising.
Yeah.
So, you know, me and Aldo Quevedo, like, hats off to the dude. I love him. You know, we always wanted. We grew up together in advertising. We founded the Creative Circle for the Hispanic market with other creatives, but this was a long, long time ago. We never had an opportunity to work together in one agency, but we were always judges at award shows together or stuff like that. So when the opportunity with Visit San Antonio came and we needed an ad agency, we decided to partner up with them.
Yeah.
And, you know, they're still, I wouldn't call them partners because they don't know like a part of Mighty. But they're like Greg, right? Like I believe in building these strategic alliances with a bunch of people, like we did, like with Aldo, with Greg, with Alex in Colombia. So we just started building these strategic alliances, and then that's where I realized, like, shit, man, I know a bunch of people. They have good projects. Why don't we go just like create a film fund that can actually change things a little bit. You and me have had this conversation, like, I think it was 2 years ago or 3 years ago. It's in the Oscars. I don't remember, but I had been telling you this for a while. It's like, I don't understand why Hollywood is making $300 million movies and waiting for that fucking movie to hit it big.
Yeah.
Like, the risk as an investor there is crazy. Like, you can make like fucking 20 movies for that, minimize the risk for your investors, and actually have a volume, have a slate. And that's how A24 and Neon and all those companies I admire started.
Yeah, I mean, you can shoot a $300 million film, make 6 at the box office,
if lucky,
and still lose money.
Yeah.
And still not make money.
Well,
At
dude,
least.
people
Or
are
it's
not
still
f-
at least
yeah,
still not make money,
it's-
right? That's pretty wild.
People are counting on, like, I've talked to a lot of friends that are kind of like still in the game in Hollywood, and they're relying so much on theatrical. And I'm like, dude, aren't you seeing the fucking empire collapsing? It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? There's no theatrical. Like, people don't go to the movies anymore. Like, you need to think of ancillary sales and how you're going to fucking distribute it. And God damn it, I don't think you need to spend over $10 million to make a decent, very decent movie.
Yeah.
And actually spend the time in the creative of the movie, hiring the right people, making sure the script is awesome, making sure your crew is badass, make sure you keep your investors happy, and don't do one. Like, that's why we went out and created the fund, because to minimize the risk for the investors, like, why are you going to invest in one $3 million movie? Give me $24 million. We'll make 10 of those. And not all of them are going to be hits, but if one hits, just one, you're getting your money back. And investors are reacting positively to that, because
it's kind of like how tech venture works too, right? It's like,
well, you taught me, like, you taught me all that. Like that's why there's an advisory board at Mighty, and that's why we decided to, like, I don't know what Mighty Industries is going to be, but now I think it's like Mighty Ventures, and within the ventures industry is going to do stuff.
Do you think people are going to go back to the theaters? I saw, what did I just see? I saw Fantastic Four in the theater recently, and it was way better than I thought it was going to be. I went in going like, this is going to be another stupid Marvel movie, but it was better than that. It wasn't like amazing, but it was better than that.
I think it's weird.
Sorry, what I was going to say is though, those sitting in the movie theater was cool. Like I hadn't done it in a long time. I've also got a little baby running around, so I don't get out much. But sitting in the movie theater, I was like, man, this is fun. It's fun to sit in a nice theater, watch a movie with other random jokesters that are eating pickles, which is not the greatest part. But yeah, it's cool to do that. And I was like, more people I feel like might get back into this. I don't know.
Again, I mentioned spatial awareness before, and I'll mention it again. A lot of people think that the movie business relies on North American receipts at the box.
Mm-hmm.
So, I was in Mexico for a long time. Recently, I had to go to Mexico again, the Guadalajara thing. I think there's a big opportunity in Guadalajara, not only in tech, but in business and in everything. It's a completely different market. And Nicholas, my son, told me, he's like, Dad, if you're going to see F1, which you should, you need to fucking see it in IMAX.
Yeah, I missed it.
You need to see it in IMAX because I guarantee you it's not going to be the same experience. So I was in Guadalajara and I was on a date and I told her, I was like, hey, let's watch this movie. My son told me to watch this movie on IMAX. And I had just come out of a meeting with a soccer team that we're hopefully going to get a contract with them to do some like cool stuff with them. And it was a Wednesday night, 8 p.m. at night, and we went to the IMAX theater at this little mall. It was fucking packed. So I was like, okay. So every day, because that mall was close to my hotel, I was like, well, maybe it's a fluke, right? Maybe it's like everybody wants to see. Like every day I would go to just sit outside the theater. That place was packed all the time. Started calling friends in Spain. Started calling friends in Tokyo. My cousin lives in Shanghai right now. I was like, hey, man, what's up with attendance? It's like, oh, theaters are packed. It's here. The problem is in the United States. We have so many. It's like, I don't know what it is. You don't see that in other countries. People are so fucking obsessed with the TikTok and the Instagram and
they're like tweaking out.
They're tweaking out.
Yeah.
I was, I'm not ashamed to say this, I was dealing with a rehab facility. They actually have, there's only 2 facilities in the world that do that. That one in Mexico, and they're the same. One's in Switzerland, one's in Mexico. It's social media addiction.
That's what the kids are there for. Yeah.
Because they cannot let go of the TikToks, dude.
Yeah.
So
it's a.
Yeah, so if you think of going back to film, like you cannot create a film fund and think that your receipts are going to come from theatrical in the United States.
Yeah,
you need to think.
Yeah.
It's silly. It's ridiculous. Especially when Latin America, Europe, Asia, theaters are packed.
Yeah. I remembered that about when I was living in Mexico too. I remembered always, I used to go to the movies all the time down there. Mm-hmm. 2 things were cool. One, movies came out in Mexico sooner. So that was cool.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if that's still the case, but they would come out.
It varies sometimes. Yeah. Like for example, Fantastic Four hasn't hit Mexico yet.
Really?
Yeah.
At the time, this was like pre-COVID. Mm-hmm. At the time, they would always come out sooner. So I could always see them sooner, which was cool. But I also remember we didn't have in Mexico, this was when I was in Mexico City, we didn't have in Mexico City these massive stadium seating theaters that we have here in the US. It wasn't like, let's cram 400 people into a theater. It was like 18 seats, and they were big leather couches in Mexico.
Yeah.
So the theater experience in Mexico was just, and this wasn't one theater I went to at the mall in Mexico City. No, this was every single theater in Mexico. They were all like this. They were all
VIP like cinemas. And now we have
they're
them
all
here,
just super
but they
nice.
Started
and
like the AMCs and the Edwards cinemas. They started seeing that trend in Latin America and in Europe where it's not a fucking stadium.
Yeah,
it's
these are not
30
cattle.
people,
yeah,
but the ticket is not $3. It's $12.
Yeah.
And you're not only watching a movie, but you have an actual waiter.
You have a waiter.
Yeah, it's kind of like what the Alamo Draft House did here a long time ago when they started.
Yeah.
Just the Draft House is kind of shitty. Like you're not comfortable. Like the ones in Mexico City, and dude, they have them in Colombia. They have them in Buenos Aires. They have them in Chile. This like VIP theater experience.
But yeah, I think you're right. It's like a culture thing there a little bit, where it's like
and people are not
chill, comfortable.
And people are not glued to their phones. The difference between, and that's why, like, I have a big drive right now to launch Latin America. There's a big mental, like, there's a kind of like a shift of your focus. People here, like, work is everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's their existence. So, like, work is their life. They
Here?
they live to work.
Here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Mexico and Europe and other countries, they work to live.
Yeah.
So they have a life. Like business meetings. You've been in business meetings. And like, so you go to a restaurant, you sit there for 7 hours, and you're probably going to close the deal at the restaurant, not in a meeting room, not in a corporate like, that's the way it works.
Yeah.
So the theater going experience is part of that. You know, they want this, they want to have a glass of wine. They want to, it's not only like hot dogs and burgers that the waiter brings you. You've seen this. They can bring you sushi. They can bring you pasta.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, whatever, yeah.
And so going back to the film fund and everything, and I think this is what's going to make a lot of people comfortable with a fund is that we're not relying on North American receipts, right? I see North America as an ancillary, but I know that, you know, there's a whole world out there that does go to the movie.
Yeah. I used to teach a business class at Incarnate Word for designers and animators and that kind of stuff. Yeah. And it was called Business of Design. And every year, one of the things I realized when I got out of college was like I had no knowledge of finance, statistics, all the things. Well, I personally had economics experience because I took a bunch of economics classes on my own. But yeah. Like I didn't have those skills. And so when I was later asked to teach that class, I was like, man, I'm going to teach these kids finance. That's what I'm going to do, you know?
Yeah.
Which was probably a little too ambitious for a graduating senior class who just had to take this course. Yeah. They weren't interested in it. They just had to take it. So anyway, point is every year, one of the lectures I gave, I would pull box office receipts for animated films across the world. And I started teaching that class in 2011, maybe 12, maybe I can't remember. But it was amazing seeing like box office receipts US, right? The bar charts here. Box office receipts China here. Box office receipts every other country. Yeah. But that is not true anymore. And flipped, every year I did it, it just changed. Yeah. And now I haven't taught that class since COVID, since right before COVID. But so I guess 5 years. But now, I mean, it's a completely different graph. That's pretty crazy to think about.
And dude, it again, it's this like Hollywood mentality, right? They're just looking at, well, it's not only Hollywood, it's the American mentality. Like their world is America.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't think that's the way business works anymore. I think America's a chunk of your business, but it's a fucking global world out there.
Yeah.
And with technology and everything we're doing, there's no reason for not to be looking at those receipts to come in and keep your investors happy. 2, you get a hit culture where it hits, right? That's why I keep saying it's like, hey man, it's like everybody's like, you have too many horror films on the slate. Yeah, motherfucker, everybody screams in one language. I don't have to worry about cultural shifts because I know horror works.
Yeah.
So it's gonna work the same in Mexico than in China and that is the trend. The biggest box office receipts, even if you analyze books, and I'm obsessed with like those Box Office Mojo websites every day, just to track numbers. Everything is genre right now. You come up with like feel good, eat, pray, love shit, makes $10. You come up with Barbarian.
The black phone, or
the black phone.
Yeah.
Here's the other thing: horror is so cheap to shoot.
Yeah.
You know, you don't need this like crazy VFX or volumes or like, and you don't need AAA celebrities.
Yeah.
You really do. I don't need fucking Brad Pitt in my Bruja movie. I can have 3 kids that nobody knows.
I'm trying to get famous. I'm trying to get everyone to cast me in their movie.
You have a face for radio, buddy. So, you know, the business plan, it's pretty interesting. Investors are reacting happy to it. They're happy. you know, we're hoping to launch in December, and it's going to be, you know, genre films, but we're not shooting any movie over $5 million.
And so the idea is, you've talked to me a little bit about this. The idea is, right, that again, if I build a $300 million movie, I got to go make $1 billion to return capital. If you make a $2 million movie and you can easily sell that for 8 to 10, you've just 5x your investors, you know,
Exactly.
the investment. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, and
you can make 30 of those, or what, I don't know what the math is, 100 of those things for versus a $300 million film, right?
and here's the thing, because you know me, like, and I tend to do this, like, on my own, like, I know I'll fuck it up, but it gives me the ability to fuck it up. I know not all of my movies are going to be hits, but because of the way the fund is structured, I can afford to fuck up.
I think too,
because one hits and the fund is solved. One.
I think too, things like, especially like creative endeavors like filmmaking, it's like, you don't always know what's going to hit, right? Like, you can be the smartest, most creative, most whatever person in the world, but it's going to be that weird, random, coincidental story that aligned with who the president was and what happened in Europe and all kinds of weird shit that all of a sudden made that film explode, right? There's certain things out of the spectrum of possibilities. There's only so much of it that's in your control anyway, right?
Yeah. I was talking to a friend of mine. He went to film school with me, my age, kids the same age as mine. He started really analyzing the YouTube algorithm. Super good writer, super creative. Not as creative as me, but close. And he launched this fucking thing in YouTube, which they're calling analog horror. And he's basically spending less than $200 per episode. It's basically a TV station that gives you the weather, and then it kind of like glitches, and then you start realizing like it's horror. It's weird. I think last year he made about $120 million from that, because every YouTube video he makes has like, and you're young, you know what analog horror is. I'm talking to a producer here. You know, you click on those videos, and they have $7 million views.
7 million views, yeah.
So you're like, what the fuck am I doing? What's the game here?
Yeah.
$200 per episode, probably. He pays an intern to edit it.
Yeah.
He comes up with a script. It's super simple, dude. It's not rocket science. It's literally one of those 80s, like, public service television with, like, schedules.
Yeah.
And then weird shit start happening. And then there's, like, found footage of stuff, but it's, like...
And these are... How long are these?
Each video is what? It's not longer than 7 minutes.
Okay.
I think the longest one is, like, 7 minutes. That's one.
But it's like an anthology, though. It's like a bunch of random...
Yeah, dude, but here's the thing. Like, I see that with my kids, and that's... You have to go where the trends are. And, like, I think Hollywood wanted to do that, but obviously because they're their worst enemy, they fucked it up. They kind of wanted to do all this, like... They did that movie about the missing girl that was all on a computer. Or the remake of The War of the Worlds, which is...
I heard it was bad.
Oh, dude. It's horrible.
But
you look at, like...
I heard people who are not very critical of anything say that movie was terrible.
It's so bad, man.
That's what I heard.
And you have Ice Cube, and you have like good celebrities, and that's the Hollywood mentality, right? If I bring this person, and I have this big tentpole franchise, which is The War of the Worlds, and I just...
It's an equation, right?
Well, the Hollywood executive there was probably thinking, Spielberg's War of the Worlds cost $250 million. I have some retarded idea. Let's just have it all on the computer. It's going to cost me 30. Yeah. I'll make a fortune. I'll be the next president of the studio. That fucker's fired.
Yeah, yeah.
That it's garbage. Yeah. But like, I have this argument with Matt, my son, every day. He has a 57-inch TV in his room.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I walk in there, he's either on his phone or in the computer.
Yeah, he's not looking at it.
And he's watching fucking YouTube.
Yeah,
he's not watching anything else.
Yeah.
I think that's something I'm gonna get into. I'm already working. You know, Andy.
Mm-hmm.
Andy Morales is a very talented female director here in town. Crazy creative. I'm gonna get into that. I'm gonna test it out. And I talked to, my kids are my thermometer. And I talked to Nick and Sebastian and Matt, and they were like, then I told them the idea I had. They were like, dude, fucking do it. Like,
Yeah.
what are you waiting for? So it's this whole shift, right? But I think you have to be aware of. I think I'm very lucky because I have a very good thermometer with those kids in my house. Your daughter's too young, but God knows what Cassandra's gonna be into. Like.
Yeah, I mean, we're only 16 months in, but I don't let her touch any phone, electronics, or anything.
That's a good
We're
move.
very like.
That's a good move.
I saw what it did when I was not running, but part of another tech startup that we were doing with some friends of mine, and we were building iPad apps and all that stuff. And on the one hand, it's like you see a kid pick it up and like instantly learn all kinds of cool stuff, but then you also see them instantly like zoned out into the. So we've decided we're not doing.
And I'm not saying like that demo. I'm not saying my kids don't go to the theater.
Yeah.
But they're very fucking particular about what they're gonna go see.
Yeah.
Like, I want to go see this in this format, and instead of going up like I grew up, because I had nothing to do. It was either serve, or hang out at the mall and become fat, or go to the movies. And that's when we had. Summers were awesome. Every weekend you had a crazy ass movie. Amazing. That's gone. My kids don't understand that.
Do you think that the model though of so like if you think about going to see opera or going to the symphony or going to a play, even like Broadway stuff, they're popular at some level for sure, have different demographics that those things appeal to. But do you think like the format of a 120-minute movie or a 108-minute movie is going to disappear because of YouTube and all the other vertical film, all that stuff? Like, could it completely disappear? Where it was like, nobody wants to sit for 2 hours anymore. Everyone's done with that. Everyone is so addicted. And this may not be in the next 5 years. I'm talking, this could, I don't know, maybe in 30 years. I don't know.
I don't think so. And you know what the should I forget the term, but like the red herring in that equation is people are consuming a lot of long ass series.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think length of content is the issue. I think it's quality of content and the ability to consume that content.
Mm-hmm.
But we've talked about real short.
Yeah.
And these people are killing it. But when fucking Jeffrey Katzenberger, Steven Spielberg, and George Lucas tried to do it with, what was it called? Tubi, whatever the fuck it was. It was the same idea. They were like,
shorts. I never looked at it.
That company, that idea bankrupted DreamWorks.
Yeah.
Here you have somebody from the tech world, different mentality, venture capitalist saying, no, there's a formula to this.
Yeah.
And they're printing money. So it proves my point. They're amazing. Like, I wouldn't do what I do without Spielberg and Lucas and everything, but they don't have the magic formula. I'm not saying tech bros have it either, but I think it's right there in the middle.
Yeah.
I don't buy the whole content is going to get shorter because people are consuming series like crazy. It's easier to sell a series than to sell a movie.
Yeah, right. People are willing to watch 8 hours, just not all at once.
Not a lot. Yeah. And that's the other thing, right? It's like, how are they going to consume the content? So do I really want to go make a 2.5 hour movie? No. And that's why, again, genre, right? My average script is 80, 90 pages.
Yeah.
In and out, half an hour. They can handle that. But again, it's you cannot have a film venture capitalist fund and think that your market is the United States.
Yeah, for sure.
Because the world is completely different. And you see it in Europe, and you see it in Latin America, and you see it in Asia. People are going to the theater.
Yeah.
The biggest investor in Hollywood right now is China.
Yeah.
China's funding the studio.
Yeah.
So, because why? Because they're there and they see the reality.
Yeah.
Theaters are packed there. So, I think it's important for me and the team to start going to festivals and really, but not like, go to Sundance and everything, but the international festivals and see the barometer of where things are going, because the people I talk to in other countries, they don't have the same problems we're having here in the United States. So
it seems like too, you've kind of seen over the last few years, and maybe COVID was sort of the catalyst for this, because people for a short time were sitting around doing nothing for
COVID was global, bro.
For a few months. That's
it
what I
didn't
mean.
only happen in the United States.
That's what I mean. But like for the first few months of COVID, right? Nobody knew how long this was going to take. Everybody was sitting there doing nothing. At least for the first 2 months, we were sitting here doing nothing, right?
Yeah.
We couldn't go anywhere. So we're all watching TV. But what I was going to say was, before that, it seemed like Americans didn't really watch foreign films, foreign series, foreign anything. But Netflix sort of allowed us to start watching, what was it? La Casa de Papel, Money, what was it called? Money Heist or whatever.
Money Heist.
Money Heist. Just Spanish film or Spanish series, but then slowly more and more, like now there's all these different K-dramas, and there's a bunch of, my wife and I watch a lot of the Korean reality show, like the Physical 100.
Yeah.
Some of those, all the guys up there, they remind me of myself, you know. There's one called Devil's Plan. Anyway, we start watching all these foreign ones, and it's no longer an issue anymore. I feel like for a long time, people had this sort of like whatever block of like, oh, I just can't watch that. But I feel like it's normal now. What I was going to say was, I feel like also like in Korea, Japan, China, Latin countries, they still want to see American films. They don't necessarily want Americans to make Korean films for them. They want Americans to make American films that they can watch, right? Yeah. So there's still like, the distribution maybe isn't here, but the content and the culture is still important, right?
Right.
Seems like, I don't know.
I was, I go to your office and like take a bunch of books and then I read them and then bring them back. But I think the global going back to film, I think the distribution system is a little bit broken. Like, wouldn't it be great to have, like, create your database of movies? Let's say you're a studio like mine and you have 10 movies and you just upload them to a server and an app, and you just tell the world, it's like, hey, they're there. And we'll give you all the, like, if you want to download them for your territory, I don't know if it's going to be subscription based or it's just like a yearly fee or everything, but I think that's where it's going to go to. Like, people are going to, because we're so used to that algorithm, right? It's like, oh, let me scroll right. That looks good. Okay. Click. Like, that's not the way film distribution works.
Yeah.
We're still in the 70s. We still got to go to fucking sales agents and shit. Like, why are we doing that?
Yeah.
And that's the way it works globally. And, and release strategies, and you got to, dude, I'm not saying I'm a genius. Obviously, I'm not. But again, it's this whole like, well, this is where I'm moving, this is where I'm going, and it's like, dude, the forest for the fucking trees, buddy. Like, you're not looking at it. But spending so much time in Latin America in the last 6 months, it's a different culture, bro. It's and before it used to be bad because third world countries, but middle classes are growing. It's this whole global, dude, I counted. There's 27 Chinese car companies in Mexico.
Yeah.
And they're outselling Porsche, General Motors, Land Rover. It's all the BYDs, the CB bars, the boo boo boo, and they're all over the fucking place. And you get in those cars, and you're like, oh shit.
I heard a Chinese car. This is going to be a misquote, I'm sure, but I think a Chinese EV just beat the like has the fastest record on the Nürburgring, like for an EV. I think a Chinese car just won the title.
It beat the Lucid?
I think so. A Chinese car just beat.
I wouldn't be surprised. Dude, China's all
Yeah.
over Mexico. That's a fact. And I think
Yeah.
that's one of the reasons why that economy is growing like crazy. I mean,
Yeah.
it's nobody's hiding that. But the film industry is growing down there. The creative industry is growing down there.
Yeah.
Guadalajara is basically the Silicon Valley of Latin America. Right now it's not, but Israel used to be like that. Tel Aviv and everything. The shit hit the fan there. But so there's all this global. I think we're gonna begin to see this, and I don't think Mexico's gonna join BRICS ever. I don't think it's a good business move for them. But you're gonna see this pockets of they're gonna be like volcanoes that explode, and you gotta go in there quick because it's Mexico. Somebody's gonna go in there and fuck it up. Trust me. But while it's hot, like grab it, right?
Yeah.
So that's and that's the mentality I have, and that's where I want to take my knowledge of film and the film fund and take my investors through that route to see, like, hey man, we're not just playing the US game. And we would be stupid to be thinking about the US game.
Yeah.
I do wanna shoot at least 3 of the movies here in Texas. I think the incentive that you help push at the Capitol and I think that's the way it works now, right? Like, why would you go shoot a movie in a state that's not going to give you at least 30%
Yeah.
back of your budget, guaranteed?
Yeah. It's pretty crazy.
So, and where's LA with their film incentives? So I've always said that it's like it's not Hollywood. It's whoever has a camera and a good incentive and a good script. But Hollywood is no more.
Yeah, Hollywood is more of an ideal than a place, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it'll probably, dude, I don't want to talk about politics. Fucking California, man. But yeah, that's where we're at right now. So.
Yeah. What do you think about San Antonio as far as like, so you mighty, sounds like you guys might shoot a few films in Texas, probably not. Well, maybe San Antonio, but just
there's a
wherever.
project. Price Patrol with Greg. It would be stupid not to shoot it, not to take advantage not only of the Texas film fund, but the San Antonio. San Antonio offers you a little bit extra if you shoot in adjoining counties next to Bexar County. So I think Price Patrol is definitely a film that I wouldn't shoot anywhere else. Any of the counties here, and it's one location, and it's a $3 million movie. But yeah, I definitely want to shoot out of the 10 movies, at least keep 3 local. A Song for My Father it was written for LA, but just like looking at budgets and knowing how expensive it's to shoot in LA, the story is still gonna take place in LA, but I'm gonna shoot everything in Austin.
Yeah.
And I don't shoot it in San Antonio because I just like it's not there yet, right? But I also believe that because I'm not like I saw it growing up in Orange County in the 80s. I think in 10 years we're not gonna know where San Antonio ends and Austin begins. It's just gonna be this like big ass massive.
Yeah.
Kind of like you don't know when you left LA and you're already in Orange County.
Yeah.
So I think that's gonna facilitate a lot of industry coming here, but I don't want to look at it as it's San Antonio and Austin. Like, yeah, now, but dude, wait 5 years. It's gonna be one big ass spread.
Yeah. So someone sent me, Taylor Sheridan just made a big announcement. I mean, we've been knowing he's building up there in Fort Worth for a while, but there was some press release that just came out with him and Perot or whoever just
he's the biggest
officially
film studio
announcing it. Yeah.
in Texas.
And somebody hit me up and they were like, "Oh man, they beat San Antonio to the punch or something," and I was just like, "Well,
what the fuck are you talking about?"
I don't know what you're talking about.
no,
yeah I mean, it's like
yeah,
it's just such a strange statement to make, but
I think anything that happens like that, it's good for, like, that's Taylor fucking Sheridan, dude. The dude's a monster. Right?
Yeah, it's so
to me, that's good for me.
Yeah, my response was like, that's awesome that they're building it there, right? You're shooting all this really cool stuff in Texas. It's a few hours away. But it tells me too that, to your point, that, you know, San Antonio and Austin could also be a secondary region area for all the same stuff, you know? So I don't know.
You know, we've had a lot of conversations with the San Antonio Film Commission, and they're great, supporters of Mighty. We just need to be better about there's a brain drain in San Antonio, and I'm not only talking about film, but I think the hardest thing I'm gonna have when I shoot here, and if I have 2 projects going at the same time, is like how the hell am I gonna crew up?
Yeah.
So there's where we have a problem. But at the same time, Trinity, UTSA, they're coming up with this Incarnate Word with this film programs. I got approached to teach screenwriting. I'm not saying I'm not gonna do it. I'm still noodling it. My patience for Gen Zs and millennials keeps growing thinner and thinner.
Teaching college is tough. It's also
I taught at the Miami Ad School, dude, and it's like the most prestigious fucking advertising school in the world. And my and you know, they're college students. But that was
my experience in the teaching creative at the college level was always that, like anything, you know, it was a private university, so it's small classes, 30 people maximum. Most weren't even 30; they were 24. You know.
Yeah.
But you know, there's always 3 or 4. It's a weird sound to make right into my microphone. There's always like 3 or 4 kids that are freaking awesome, and like you really want to help them, and you know that they're going to be somebody great, you know. So you're trying your best to help them, but then you've kind of got 3 or 4 on the other side who are like kind of dragging everything down. But your duty is to help them too, right? And so you have to kind of spend more time with them. And so it's a hard. Anyone who teaches those classes and stuff, I always am like, you know, very much respect, because it's
no, dude. That's why I'm thinking about it. First of all, like, I think teachers should be making a lot more fucking money than they make. And dude, now,
well, especially with the way how much college costs.
Exactly. And
I don't know who's making all that money.
I don't know why you want to like, salaries are ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, it's robbery, to be honest with you.
It is robbery. And like, and dude, it's not only like, if you're going to commit to, like, it's a full-time job. Like, you got to come up with like what your syllabus, what the fuck, like, it's college, they're smart kids, this is a private school, they're expecting something. I was like, for that? No, thank you.
Yeah, it was
like
crazy.
Find some other fool, or find somebody that's way older than me.
It's really a favor. You're doing it as a favor. You're not doing it for anything else.
You're not. Yeah. You're not. And dude, and don't get me wrong, one of the best times and the best experiences I had was when I was teaching both screenwriting and advertising. And yeah, like you said, like 3 of my guys, 3. Yeah, and I probably taught, you know, 200, 250 students. 3 are badasses.
Yeah.
And I really helped them and pushed them, and you see that. You see that. The rest is just noise.
I got in trouble a couple times because I scolded some kids probably a little too hard, you know, but whatever. I always thought
that's the other thing, dude. It's like, I was like, I was talking to a friend of mine. She's like, no, dude, you should like fucking do it, teach it and everything. It's like, no, man, I'm going to get fucking fired on the second week. Like the second day, I'm going to be like.
Especially today, man. Mine was
like,
all
dude, everything I do like rubs people the wrong way. And I don't give a shit. Like, I'm fucking 52 years old. I don't care. Either take me as I am or don't. It's just not the same world. It's just not the same mentality. It's just not the same way of looking at things.
Yeah, college has changed.
Yeah, I dude, no, I would be trouble. Yeah. Like, I know me. I know. I would be like, yeah, no, that's not for me.
Yeah, but I think, you know, to your point, I mean, Texas has a lot of work to do to train up a crew that can.
I think that's
deal with all these projects.
Now with Alamo City Studios and this being a creative hub and everything, if we can be part of that and actually bring the creative community I'm hoping that with my podcast, and my podcast is going to, this, it's going to go off the rails frequently. But, we can be that like lighthouse of like, hey, here's where the creative shit happens. I think that's a win. The events we're doing, but yeah, my going back to the San Antonio question, I think San Antonio can be a great film community if we start investing in the resources to have crews, capable crews.
Yeah. I'm sure I'm not the one who always says this, but I say this, and I'm sure everyone says this. But San Antonio really is not just a cultural hub of Texas, which it is, but it's like one of the main cultural hubs of the country.
It is.
I mean, it's one of the most unique cultural places in the country. Having traveled all over the world and all over the United States, I mean, it's a very unique place. So you would think that especially something like film that tells creative stories would be attracted to doing things around here. But again, I guess the point is they can simulate San Antonio and a lot of other places.
I was having this conversation with a friend of mine that's a famous musician, and he'll be on the podcast. It's amazing the shit you find in this town. I had this conversation with Christine at the film commission too. There was this place here in town called Taco Land. You were too young for it. And it's one of the most legendary punk venues in music history.
Yeah,
and
I'm familiar with it. I know what it is. I haven't.
To the point that, dude, like, we were in LA, obsessed with a band called Circle Jerks. We couldn't get tickets anywhere. We found tickets at Taco Land here. We fucking drove cross country. One of the most fun trips of my life, like peyote and shit, like crazy, to see the Circle Jerks at
Taco Land.
And then you would go into the venue and you would see the bands that played there, and like, where's the documentary about Taco Land? Because the place doesn't exist anymore and the owner died. But there's you see all this great. We were talking about the documentary, the music documentary. We were talking about it, the
Jeff Buckley
documentary. It's one of the best films I've seen in the last 10 years. But I'm just saying, like, Taco Land is one little place like that in San Antonio, and I'm pretty sure there's many stories.
Yeah.
Where are the kids that want to tell those stories?
Yeah.
Where's the like? And dude, like, I've said it before, and if I get crucified for it, I don't give a shit. Like, San Antonio has to be taking better care of the creative class. It's not a creative class city.
How does
I don't know how it happens, dude. I'm not an anthropologist or everything, but it's sure as fuck as it is in Portland or Seattle, or everybody is like, well, we ain't Austin, and we shouldn't be Austin. But Austin is Austin because there's a creative class and they push that creative. I don't think I'm beginning to see it now. I'm beginning to see it more in the entrepreneurial side than in the creative side. Again, because there's a brain drain. A lot of kids leave and don't come back.
Maybe,
they don't.
I'm also not an anthropologist or whoever would study this, but I wonder if it has to do with money. I mean, Seattle, Portland, Austin, these are all big money hubs for, in the case of Seattle and Portland, Microsoft, right? You got two Microsoft founders funding the pop museum, all the big stuff there.
Dude, it's
or
not
the
even
EMP,
that.
Electronic Music Project.
It's emerging cities that you would never think were going to be like that, right? Like Memphis.
But like, I'm just thinking, like, what creates that creative sort of chaos, right? It's at some levels big money that comes in and funds a lot of knuckleheads to do a bunch of goofy stuff, or I don't know. It's probably a very difficult answer.
I don't know. I like I said, I'm not a cultural anthropologist. My mom would have probably a good answer for that. I don't fucking know. I just know that I know because I see it with my friends' kids, and yes, I'm dating myself again, that they're off, graduating from college and shit. They're not coming back here. And their answer is very simple. It's like, why would I go back to San Antonio when I can go to Portland? I mean, and I was like, well, because your family's here and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. It's in LA. Everybody wants to be a fucking writer and an actor, so you go to the fucking Mel's Diner and you go to the delis, and everybody's a writer and a screenwriter. But at least you know that they're fucking hustling to get there.
Yeah.
Like, what is that for us, right? Like, who's gonna come to be a what? And I think we're beginning to see it.
Yeah.
With, like, I was having a conversation the other day with Taryn Furman, and I think the same can be said for Clint. These guys are fucking rock stars, dude, and they're young and they're making, but it's in the entrepreneurial side, right? Clint is doing this whole real estate thing, and then Taryn with Elsewhere. So I'm beginning to see a shift. Like, I'll tell you right now, when I first got here in I graduated college in 94, so 1 year in 96. We didn't have the culinary situation we have here.
Yeah, I was.
We did it. We didn't have the Emma.
Yeah.
No, like, dude, like, it was like the shift I saw from then to now.
Yeah.
Completely different city.
I think I was going to say, I think, I've got like I said, a young kid, so I don't get out much anymore, but San Antonio is actually really cool now. I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff for young people. The idea that you're going to have the only thing that sucks about San Antonio is the summers are fucking hot. That's the only difference, right? You go to Portland, oh, it's beautiful weather during certain times of year. California, same.
Yeah.
But otherwise, like, as far as like cultural amenities, they're all here.
But I mean, dude, I don't even think that brain drain it's like, again, going back to the thing, it's the world now. I see all these kids that are fucking digital nomads in Korea, in San Miguel, in Buenos Aires, and they have their laptop, and because and maybe I'm wrong again, I'm not an economist or a cultural anthropologist, but if I'm a dude that just graduated college, and my first offer here in San Antonio at CPS is 30 grand, but I know I can get a remote job for 30 grand and be in fucking San Miguel de Allende, and that 30 grand is gonna last
be worth twice
as much. Like, these kids are not stupid.
Yeah.
So, and again, I think this digital nomad mentality, because it's a big ass chunk of the marketplace, I think you're an idiot if you don't consider them. They're affecting everything. They're affecting how movies are consumed, how the creative class is moving, how the economy is moving.
Yeah.
Because if I'm the dude fucking printing money in the United States, and I know 40% of my workforce is out there in the world, not spending their money here, that's a problem.
Yeah.
That's scary. Because,
well, they're getting kicked out of Mexico now, so.
They are?
I thought I saw there was some big revolt in DF about kick out all the
again, like I said, like, they'll fuck it up. No. I think right now, and people are going to hate me for this, and like I said, not a politician, I think we have one of the best presidents we've ever had in Mexico right now. And I'm not saying this because she's Jewish or because she's a girl, but, the numbers don't lie, and the GDP is growing like crazy. She would never she knows how much they're worth, and she wants to keep them happy.
I mean, I remember when I was, I was living in like Condesa, Roma area, like, I've heard now it's all Americans. The whole area, Polanco, it's all Americans everywhere.
Dude.
Crazy. That's cool, I guess.
If you think that's crazy, cool. Guadalajara is nuts.
Yeah.
Like, I was there for, and dude, I'm going to be going back and forth a lot. I spoke more English there than Spanish.
Yeah.
It's just, and it's not even just Americans. It's like Dutch people and Chinese people and Korean people, and they're all doing it. And like, and you ask them, and they're young, dude. They're like 30. Like, I met a couple of dudes, super cool. Went out to, like, they knew more about, like, dude, I grew up, like, I know Guadalajara. My family is from there. They took me to places I've never heard of.
Yeah.
Yeah. And one is a digital copywriter, makes like 35 grand a year. Lives like a king down there. Bought his Chinese electric car. Dude, that's the other thing. How much did Joe spend on that fucking vacuum cleaner he has called a Tesla? What, 60 grand?
I have no idea.
Right? The BYD.
I don't think they're that much.
Well, whatever. That BYD super badass electric hybrid thing, $21,000.
Yeah. I don't know much about the Chinese electric EV stuff.
I'm not saying they're great, but it just like...
Yeah, my instinct is to talk shit about them, but I don't know much about them, to be honest.
No, dude. We can talk shit about a lot of people. Dude, I have a long list. It's that global mentality. I'm going back to film and everything, right? These digital nomads, they're a force that are going to change the way the world operates.
Yeah, for sure.
Because nobody's going to stop them.
Because you don't have to live anywhere particularly.
Here's the other thing. Like, I wanted to have a house. My dad was a boomer. I was hoping I could have the life he did. You know, I'm Gen X, I'm bitter, I'm angry, I'm fucking pissed at the world, granted. But my kids and these kids, like, their mentality is super smart. It's like, why the fuck would I put that shackle on me? And be married to a mortgage and pay ridiculous property taxes when I can live in fucking Puerto Vallarta.
Well, you could live somewhere else every week. I mean, you could...
And literally, like, their visa expires, and they're like, okay, fuck it, I'm out of here. Where are you going now? Cartagena.
Yeah.
Boom, they're out. Dude, not even that. Croatia, Balkan countries, Italy. Dude, Italy's cheaper than fucking Mexico right now.
Yeah.
Spain. So they're not stupid, and that meant, like, they don't have this... I'm staying in America, and my dream is the house and the mortgage and the 3 kids and the payments and go 9 to 5. No, they're smart. They're like, what the fuck for? And I don't need... And they're not hustling to make 250 grand because they know there's pockets in the world that they can make their 40 grand.
And it's like 250. Yeah.
And they're not attached to the mortgage, to the bank, to the...
Yeah.
And they're getting paid in dollars. Like I was reading this because somebody told me to download this thing called... shit, it's crazy. I'll tell you right now because I forgot. Wise. Have you heard of Wise?
Like WISE?
Yeah.
No.
It's the biggest bank in the world.
Okay.
Right now.
Okay.
And the only thing they do is they focus to digital nomads.
Okay.
So they can get paid in whatever country they want, in any currency they want. And it's almost like Venmo, but it's for the global community.
Yeah, interesting.
And they're based in New York. They're printing money. That is the future. Like, that's why I'm thinking, like, we in the film business got to start thinking like that. Why am I going to fucking worry about distribution when I can create an app and dump my movies? Not only that, but buy movies from other countries. I don't have to produce them. I can go buy them in Israel for 10 grand.
Yeah.
Give me one territory. And I'm going to dump them all in a Netflix kind of carousel and have the buyers go to my app, download it, distribute the movie. Wise is crazy, dude. Like, I've never heard of it. I needed to get paid because I was down there, and I was like, well, just download Wise. And I was like, I don't want to go to the fucking hustle of opening them. 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Yeah.
You pay yourself $20. They'll return it to your account. And you're set up with routing, Swift codes, because that's the most important thing. A lot of banks don't have Swift.
Yeah.
So how the fuck do I make an international trade?
Yeah.
I can call somebody in China right now. It's like, dude, here's my what? You just send them a QR code.
Yeah.
Boom.
Pretty cool.
It's crazy.
I haven't seen that. It's
yeah.
Neat.
It's crazy. You can download their virtual cards. Like,
payments have always been, I remember this was like the early aughts, I would say, like, or sorry, late aughts, like 2007 to 2010-ish. You know, I was traveling a lot back then internationally, and I remember running into some different tech circles talking about everyone at the time was starting to get focused on payments. They're like, oh, I'm working on a payment startup. working on a payment startup. Everyone was working on payment startups. And I was just like, fucking boring is this, payment startups? And now, then PayPal's making bajillions of dollars. And then they all popped out of that. The Shift and Stripe and all those ones started popping up. And I was like, and then I was also young at the time. I was right out of college. So I think I was about to get out of college. So I didn't quite get it. Yeah. But then you see it blow up. And you're like, oh, I see why this is important. And now being older, having worked internationally, I could see where that's super valuable. But also a lot of experience in crypto too. Like, it's so difficult when you get used to crypto. It's so difficult to send money from this person to this person if it's a Tuesday. Like, what? Why is this so hard? Crypto, you can do it instantly, like whatever. And so, it's good that companies like that are kind of sort of the stopgap between the ease of crypto and the difficulty of the banking system, and sort of.
Yeah, and I think crypto is going to go to that eventually, because I still believe in the decentralization of the internet, and I think eventually we're going to get there. Maybe, again, it was ahead of its time, but it'll get there.
Yeah, dude, I'm very bullish crypto,
yeah,
just so everybody knows. I'm like,
but
you can't stop the tidal wave. You can stand in the way if you want, but you can't. You're going to get wiped out. And people are going to vote with their behaviors, right? They're going to be like, look, what's easier? Maybe Wise will help the traditional banking system. I don't know what it is, but the way you explained it, maybe it'll help. But if anyone else has crypto, I can send them money back, forth, sideways, super easy.
It's basically,
people will start to do that just naturally.
That's
just
the genius of Wise, right? They took the ease of use of crypto and made it available to the world.
Yeah.
And again, literally, it's a 2-minute setup. I had never done like even Venmo. It's like somebody already used your fucking numbers, and I was like,
yeah, same.
Now this was like, boom, dude, you're set up. Download your card. Send the QR code. Literally, dude, like by the time I set it up and by the time I got the money into the app, ready to use. 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Crazy. But it's that global mentality, right? Like I think we got to start looking at it like I don't want to build a company or a fund that's just going to be focused on, obviously everybody wants to make dollars and the American dream, but I'm also doing it because I want to have that ability to not. And right now, Matt's still home. He has to get out. We're just raised different. I'm not gonna put him out in the dorms and let him rot. But I don't think he's like, he came back for a reason. I think he's gonna be here for 2 semesters tops, and he's already thinking about like leaving again. And it would be cool to have all the people working at Mighty to have that mentality, to be like, you know what, dude, like I'm working out of Croatia this month, and I'm gonna, and that only makes us better because we're also looking at emerging markets and meeting creative people that might have great ideas, and you just don't have those blinders on that. No, it happens here and it has to happen here.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't want to look at it that way. So,
what do you think? You said something earlier that I thought was interesting, insightful. You said everyone in LA wants to be a writer, screenwriter, whatever, and they're all at the diner working their side hustle, their waiters, waitresses.
Yeah.
But what do people move to San Antonio to want to do? That's a good question. What do you think? What do you think? Maybe they don't do it today, but what do you think they could, with some change or some funding or some whatever growth, people could move to San Antonio to do?
I don't know. I honestly think, just the way I've seen the tourism industry, and because I've worked with them closely, but I think the whole culinary tourism, I just went to the bar that we had your after wedding party, Haunt. They completely redid it.
Yeah. It's awesome. It's really cool.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's like I felt like I was in New York.
Yeah.
Again, another date. I was like, wow, dude, like, what is this? I had never expected to do that. Hotel Emma, all these little pockets of restaurants. We went to this Peruvian one the other day. Crazy good. Leche de Tigre.
Is it there on Broadway by by not Samo, what's it called? The Witty, by the Witty?
By the Witty.
Yeah, I heard it's really good.
So I think I don't know. Like, I don't like to bet, you know, that's why I don't do Vegas. But I think culturally, like the whole tourism, if we could get like one more Emma, and I think the St. Anthony is going to move towards that. I think like the plants and everything. The Kimpton is all right.
I haven't been there yet.
I
heard it's cool.
The rooftop.
Not that cool? Really?
You would like it.
Yeah. What does that mean? It's not cool, but Jeremy would like it.
You would like it. I'm more of like, what's the name of the new haunt? I love that bar now.
Yeah, it's a little more country. Not a little. I mean, it's very compared to what it was.
Well, I was with a very country girl, so obviously, not married people, so don't fucking judge. So, dude, no. I think I want to have Taryn in my podcast and shoot the shit with him because he's a cool dude. I want to have Clint shoot the shit. I think it's people like them. There's other friends that you and me have.
I mean, they're shaping culture whether anyone likes it or not.
Right,
you know?
and you know what I like about them? And I think, and we were at a party the other day and somebody was like, well, you guys should fucking do a thing together because you're like the crazy motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Right? The ones that are like, when everybody's singing, you guys are fucking, and I'm not even putting myself in their pocket right now. They also started way sooner than I did. But I think that mentality, I think if we can find a way, I think San Antonio needs something like South by, and I don't know who's going to push it. And I guess we got to talk to city council, or you said something very interesting there, and I don't mean to throw it under the bus. You can say that you didn't say it and say I said it. You said that there's an old guard, and we just got to wait for the old guard. Well, I said that.
You said that. I didn't say that.
I said that. I think, imagine the cultural impact a thing like South by would do. In a way,
like
because South by didn't start the way it is right now. Like, start it, like, bring in, we have amazing venues. Like, I don't know why the Tobin doesn't have, like, fucking.
Well, what's the one at Brackenridge?
Yeah.
That one, I mean, that place is awesome, too.
If we can have, I'm not saying fucking bring the Foo Fighters and shit. Like, bring, like, somebody, like, AA, not AAA. Have talks with, dude, even Matt, my lawyer. Like, he's a cool dude. He's a badass handling term sheets and stuff. Him, Taryn, the young girl that's doing that bar at the St. Anthony's. Have them do, like, kind of TED Talks. It doesn't have to be, like, try it out, San Antonio, for like a weekend of, and let's call it SIGGRAPH, whatever the fuck you want to call it. And you have entrepreneurs, restaurateurs, couple of good shows, couple of good screenings, movies that we wouldn't get otherwise. And that's how you start. You build that little seed, right? And then maybe next year, it's 4 more bands and 10 more people that are killing it. And maybe the next year, like, I'm not saying do it and expect South by.
Yeah.
But no, like.
Well, yeah, and South by at it, when you think of South by, you think of South by for you, for me, at it, the best year you ever went, right? But it didn't start like that. I mean.
No, dude, I was working on Latin Works when South by was a new thing. And dude, like what? 2002? Sebastian was a baby. South by was already, but dude, it was all about the fucking music. We were super happy we were doing commercials for Miller because Miller would give us the badges and we would go to, and even back then, it was a music thing. It started with like a music thing.
Yeah. San
Antonio has so many great fucking venues. I'm not saying we don't have a Lollapalooza. We don't have a South by. We don't have an ACL. Like, what is it going to take to create that here?
Yeah.
Because when you start creating those type of things, that's when the brain drain stops. That's when the young kids are like, I'm not going to fucking leave. This place is awesome.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of it, to your point, mentioning Clint and Taryn, some of those guys. A lot of it, too, is like, you know, you're out in the world, out in the city, you know these people. But a lot of people probably just don't even know that they're out there doing these cool things, you know? So part of it's just knowing, to your point, what's going on, right? Like
Yeah.
showing off these things that are happening.
So if Mighty and ACL and Alamo City Studios can be that hub of that, hey, we're here, we can make this happen.
That's a cool idea. I like it.
That's the other thing, dude. We know the people. Like, how many times have I said, it's like, I can bring this band here. Yeah, you're going to have to pay them.
Yeah.
But I can bring them. I can bring this screenwriter tomorrow to do this talk.
Yeah.
He's going to cost you money.
Yeah.
I can bring Guido from the best restaurant in LA and do a cook-off with the best chef in San Antonio. It's going to cost you money.
Yeah.
But I think if we start doing that, and I think if the people in City Hall and the people that have the ability, Breckenridge Park, the museums, to start thinking a little bit more outside the box and understanding that the best investment you can make, and I've always believed that, is in youth culture, because that's what's going to drive the growth of your city at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like I would love to help the city do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll do it from San Miguel or Croatia, but I'll dial in.
Yeah.
You know. So, you know, I don't know. It's a good question. I don't know what would keep a young person like that in San Antonio, but I think it's a good start.
Yeah.
Doing that. And if we can fix 1604, that would be awesome.
They're still shutting down lanes out by my house towards Bernie. I'm like,
no,
wow,
I know, it's crazy. Dude.
I looked it up 2 years ago when they started. 2 years before that, and I was like, oh, when are they going to be done? Hopefully this year.
You know,
it was
what?
Like 2029. I was like, what?
We were going to Sebastian wanted to have a drink at the new that place where we had my birthday. What it turned out to be like a fucking drunk fest. Lion and Rose. They opened one by your house.
Yeah, over by Dominion. Yeah.
So Sebastian wanted to go have a beer there because a friend of his told him that it was.
Is it cool? I haven't been to it yet.
It's massive.
Yeah, it looks big.
It's massive. And you know, it's, you know, my oldest, like, yeah, let's go have a beer with dad and shit. So obviously we got, like, it took us 2 hours to get there because they shut down 2 lanes. And I was just like so livid. And I was just bitching and moaning. And he was like, what are you complaining about? I'm like, what, dude? This has been going on for like 3 years. Like, Dad, you moved to Newport in '86. Has the 55 ever been done?
Yeah.
And that shut me up right there. I was like, you're absolutely fucking right. The 55 freeway in Newport Beach has been under construction since 1986, and they haven't finished.
Yeah.
So what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? You're right. You're absolutely right. We had a good time. It's a good bar. It still has that like British pub vibey thing.
We started going out. We're getting kind of random subject here, but we went out to. There's a place in Bernie called the Oak.
No, I've heard. Yeah, I went to the Oak. Yeah,
it's like it's a private club. Every time I drive by, I think the viewers are starting to catch on. I'm a car guy. You're a bit of a car guy.
Yeah.
Every time I drive by, there's like a GT3 or something out there, right? I think last time there was a Roma and something else, but it's always cool. I was like, oh, so I always drive by. I'm like, oh, what is that place? So this weekend, my wife and I. It is a club.
You got to know somebody that goes there.
Well, so what I found, this is free promo for them for our 7 viewers.
Yeah. 8 now. One of my kids is watching.
I went over there and, you know, I just went in, you know me, I'm just like, well, let's check it out. Let's just go in and ask if we can come in anyway. So we did. And they were like, yeah, come on in, sign the guest books. We signed in and stuff. It was really cool, man. Just super chill, super
chill. Yeah. The problem with Bernie, dude, and I've always had this problem. I love that town. As a matter of fact,
that's what I was going to say. Bernie's blowing up, but go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, but they close at 7 p.m.
So this place, I mean, we were there till 11 something. I don't know what time they closed, but we left before they did, before they closed. So I don't know, dude. You know, I'm a no-niner. I love my bubble. Yeah.
I think a lot of shit is happening there too. It's close to everything. To me, like driving all the way over there is kind of like a hassle. Just because, you know, you're gonna hit 1604 and you're gonna be stuck there for a while.
Yeah, that's why we don't go south of
Yeah, and you stay in your, and hey, welcome to fucking living in New York City, right? You stay in your pocket and you stay in your pocket. Like why? Like I remember when I was living there, Aline would be like, "Well, let's go have drinks at the tavern," and I'm like, "Why the fuck would we go to the like? That means I got to take like 2 subways. No, like I'm staying in the Upper East Side. Thank you."
Yeah.
It's the same thing that's gonna start. Dude, it happens, I think, in Austin now.
Yeah.
When I lived there, it didn't. Like you were roaming all over the fucking place. Now it's like Southtown is down.
Yeah.
You don't want to go to Southtown because now parking has become a nightmare. I mean, we were there for the film festival. What, a year ago?
A couple years ago.
We were at the Soho House, and dude, parking was a bitch.
Yeah. Well, that was the thing. You could park at Soho, but you couldn't really leave. Like if you wanted to go to Rainey or wherever, like you can't drive there. You got a pedicab or something.
No, yeah, that's why you had me riding those floors at night.
The what? The pedicabs. Yeah.
Yeah, the pedicabs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, man. Well, this has gone on long enough. I think moving forward, you've got a couple guests lined up, right? That you're gonna be interviewing soon.
Yeah. Boone Carter, cool musician from Austin.
Cool.
I'm gonna put him together with Ben Weinman from the Dillinger Escape Plan. See where that goes.
And you're interviewing Andy too, right? The one you mentioned.
Yeah, dude. That girl is fun. She's smart, man. She has crazy ideas. So Andy is gonna be on the podcast. I have other people on the list. But yeah, it's it's gonna be more my vibe.
Yeah, that's what I think is important for this show. Is like, people are gonna get tired of listening to me interview people, so it's important. I feel like Karina brings a cool energy of, she's still in college, getting out soon. She's more in the acting world and the influencer world and stuff like that. I obviously have my perspective on things, but you kind of have more of the music and Hollywood experience and perspective too. So I think it'll be cool for viewers to see a big variety of people, and it won't just be us three either interviewing people. It'll be a bunch of other people. So
yeah, dude, I think, hey man, Vice started somewhere, right?
Yeah.
If we can have if we can be a hub of the creative entrepreneur, the creative person, the passionate creative guys, like we're here, come to the studio. I think we should hire a promoter for our parties so we get more people in them.
You left this last one early. What you don't realize is everyone shows up late to the parties. That's what it is. I make them from 6 to 8. People show up at 7:45 and they leave at 11.
Yeah, motherfucker. I'm 52 years old.
Well,
like,
dude, I'm not, but I get it. I'm trying to go home too.
Yeah.
But I noticed that it's like 7:00 and I'm like, okay, maybe this is a chill event. And then sure enough, 7:30 rolls around and the place is packed.
Well, when I was in Guadalajara, you told me that you had one that like 200 people showed up.
Oh, that one was insane.
Like, why can't we have another one like that?
Well, honestly.
Was it on a Friday?
Well, no, we promoted it a certain way. And for this last one, the bourbon one, I intentionally did not promote it that way because I didn't want 200 people here. I wanted it to be like, it was almost supposed to be like super chill, like only come if you're really interested in sitting down, having a bourbon and having a 3-hour conversation with somebody. That was kind of the vibe.
Yeah.
So or at least that's what I thought it was, but
How did you promote the other one?
We have like certain rules. We only promote events 40 days out, like 40-day lead time. And we have sort of like a drip that we promote over those 40 days. And so that's what we did on the first one. On this one, we just announced it 2 weeks before. And we didn't drip it. I think we only posted the link twice. So
okay.
But that was strategic, just to kind of, I was just kind of curious who would come. And
dude, trust me, if I would have seen 200 people here, I wouldn't have left.
Okay.
But I was just like, yeah, not my.
I want to do other ones. I want to do like I like bourbon. I'm a little snobby about wine and things like that. So I want to do like a few of those too, because I think a lot of people in our industry are.
We got to do a mezcal.
Curious about that'd be cool too. So I don't know when we're gonna do another bourbon one, but we'll definitely do like another wine taste, not another, but a wine tasting one or cool. Other things,
Yeah.
Another cool thing too would be to bring like chefs or something and almost do like I guess you could do like a wine and food or something. I don't know,
I can make that happen.
but
yeah.
Point is, people want to talk about film, whatever, creative production, etc. But it's cool to pair it with something else that,
Absolutely.
like, I'm into cars, I'm into bourbon, or whatever the things I'm into are. Other people are into those things too. So
no, I think we're doing a good job. I think hopefully, again, we started, but if we can start being that beacon of creativity and good place to hang out, and if we can start driving those type of bigger events, like let's organize, like what would the South by look like?
yeah, that'd be cool. Good idea.
And I think also the people that are making those decisions are beginning to look towards us to be like, yeah, those guys got their shit together. They know kind of like what they're doing. So,
Cool, man.
Anyway, that's my spiel.
All right. Well, thanks for coming, man. We'll see you. We'll talk again next time.
Thank you, bro.
Later, guys.